Alright, we just shoot the little invite. What he dropped the new episode too. Let's go. Alright, bet. We in this bitch. Alright. Let's just wait for everybody to pour in. Drop us up and like if y'all don't. My nigga. Yes sir, yes sir. You're gonna wait for this shit to fill up real quick, cause shit's about to get real, bro. This is like, if anybody about to watch, it's not gonna be the recaps of usual. I know I've been on a hiatus for about, a couple of days now. I've missed about 2 weeks, but we're gonna do a little catch up. But if anybody's gonna tune in, if anybody's gonna watch, bro, like, shit's about to get real. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro, because low key, like, we gonna get into some shit, bro. On God, we really about to get into some shit. This gonna be some shit. The worst week so far, for real, bro. Like, they don't know, bro. For real. I'm really about to start addressing shit, cause motherfuckers is pissing me off. Like, that's the best way I could put it, bro. Like, it's cool though. We gonna address shit in a minute. But hold on, let me find this shit real quick. Here. What's good, Seahawks? What's good? Alright, man, fuck this shit. We better start this shit anyway. Oh, God. 49ers in the house. Let's get it, boy. My guy, Braden. Yes, sir. Alright, for real. I'm really not in the mood to do like my regular intro and shit, because shit getting real, bro. And I figure I just take it from the top and start addressing shit, bro. Look, man, to keep it a stack, I run this league for fun. You feel me? I run this league because, it's Madden. Who don't like football? You feel me? Like, there's nothing better than competing with other motherfuckers. What's good, Deontay? But shout out to you. Point is, bro, we play this game to be fair, right? Right? There's nothing like good competition. You feel me? If a nigga beats you in a 3-point game shootout, last minute field goal, alright, good shit. You gonna talk your shit afterwards, but y'all played it fair. Y'all played the game exactly how it's supposed to be played. This is exactly how it should be. You feel me? I just don't understand why people have the need to cheat. And that's exactly what I'm going to get to here, bro. Because quite frankly, bro, I'm fucking fed up with it. It's the reason why I made this league and I left my last one. Because motherfuckers was cheating, bro. I just don't understand why people feel the need to cheat. Like, if you cheat, bro, if you have to find a way to gain an edge, like, you're not that good. Simple as that. The stats may tell you otherwise because you did what you had to do to get the W. But really, you're not that good if you have to cheat. Simple as that, bro. And if you break rules, bro, it's not that fucking hard. Read the fucking rules, man. It is not that hard. I swear to God, I promise you, it's nothing easier than to read rules and abide by them, bro. I understand, there's a saying, rules are meant to be broken, right? Okay, well, that doesn't apply to this fucking league because there's not that many rules that are not hard to follow. Like, I just don't understand. Motherfuckers are so hard-headed, bro. I just don't get it. Like, stupid, bro. Stupid as shit. And I'm only saying this because you see the team here, and I'm not gonna throw any shade because, long story short, we got a little history, but I gave him a chance to join the league. And I'm not talking about the Eagles. I'm talking about the Packers right here. Yes. I'm gonna address it, bro. If anybody has a problem, my DMs are open or the party's open. You could feel more than welcome to join me in the stream. You feel me? Bro, if something needs to be said, I'm gonna say it, bro. Long story short, man. If y'all don't know already, Green Bay, he's got his players suspended. He has 3 players suspended. Yes, those 3 players are sack leaders Darius Smith, Devontae Adams, Raheem Mostert. So let's starting running back, starting receiver, and his best defensive player as of right now. Now you're asking yourself, damn, that's crazy. That's a little harsh. Why? Why in the first place? Alright. He broke 2 rules, which is already 2 strikes on the 3-strike rule if we're going by that. First off, his most recent game, which I'll go to here. Alright. Week 6, right? He already played. He beat Lions 28-0, right? Okay. We're going to get into that. If you saw exactly in the league chat, there was evidence posted that Lions put up. He broke the 4th down rule twice. Both of those times turned into 14 points. So that's a 14-point swing. He won by 28 points. You do the math there. If it wasn't for that 14-point swing, yes, he might have took a field goal. Might be a 20 to... I mean, different scenarios. Anything could have happened. Blocked field goal. Who knows? But you take away the 14 points, it's a 14-0 game. It'd be a much closer game than what you're seeing right here, bro. And if you're in the league, bro, please take 2 or 3 minutes. It doesn't even take that long, I promise you, to read the motherfucking rules, bro. I swear on everything, it is not that hard, bro. It is easy as counting to 10. You feel me, bro? I don't like to put a lot of rules, put a lot of restrictions on play calling. I like to give players freedom because I want to see who got game. You feel me? Rules are meant to be there in check so it could prevent situations like this. It could prevent cheating. Read the fucking rules, bro. Secondly, the motherfucker stole London. Alright? Look, if you're relocating, if you're gonna relocate, alright, for example, Seahawks, you hit me up, or you hit me up and you put it in the expansion team tab. You're going to Chicago, right? You're relocating Seahawks to Chicago. Perfect. Alright, at least you put it in the tab exactly like I said. If you're gonna relocate, do it. If Niners, if you could go to fucking Dublin for all I care, bro, put it in the motherfucking tab, bro. That's all I'm saying. It's not that hard. Packers here stole London, knowing that Cardinals was the very first team to relocate to London. If anything, bro, there's 2 infractions right there. The motherfucker should be kicked out the league. I had a very long discussion with him on Discord, over voice call. He knows, and I'm not here to talk shit about him. You feel me? He's more than welcome to join in here and put his side of the story out there. But we already had our talk, man. Like, bro, I'm not here to throw anybody under the bus. I'm just here to put it out there, bro. God damn, read the motherfucking rules, man. It is not that hard. I promise, bro. You guys make it... I'm not saying you guys, but damn, bro. Like, some people makes it way harder than it needs to be. Not only the Packers broke a rule and they're suspending for 3 players for 5 weeks. They're losing to Darius Smith, Devontae Adams, Raheem Mostert for 5 weeks. The New York Giants also losing Saquon Barkley for 3 games due to playing CPU. Look at this, bro. This is proof. All right, you guys comment below and tell me if I'm tripping or not. You tell me if I'm tripping. It's a CPU team. If you have a CPU team, you're not supposed to play them. You leave that team alone, bro. They don't have an owner. That's a forced win. You don't even have to let me know. I already know. The Vikings, all right, boom. Cool. You leave them the fuck alone. You cannot play autopilot. He decides to play them. Right? 5 times. You tell me that's strange, bro. It's 5 times. Like, come on, bro. You telling me he didn't lose not one of those times? And he didn't quit? Come back and then try to get a W? You telling me out of those 5 times that did not happen one time? From his side of the story, he told me he blue screened. Long story short, whether or not I believe you or not, you hit me up if you get blue screened. But if it's a CPU, so you fucking lost automatically. You're not supposed to play him. You're breaking the rule, bro. Long story short, he got suspended as well. If you break a rule, bro, there will be consequences. It's that simple, man. Like, god damn. Motherfuckers like to make shit way more difficult than it needs to be. Fucking Steelers over here boasting and bragging that he has the best defense in the fucking league, ends up rage quitting. That's pussy shit I don't like. The dev upgrade of Packers, don't forget. Yeah. On top of that, Zadarius Smith, because I messaged him prior to the game starting, he thought he was slick. He decided to get his game in before he read my message. So long story short, because before he started the game, I saw that Zadarius Smith needed 3 sacks to get X Factor. I was like, alright, I'm going to hit him where it hurts. You broke the fucking rules twice. This is what you get. You're not getting X Factor. So he decides to play the game, tries to sneak it in there. Long story short, he's not getting the dev. He's suspended for 5 weeks. And on top of that, he gets a forced loss next week. Bro, like, it's... You might say that's harsh or not, but, bro, there are guidelines and rules you have to follow, bro. It's not that hard, bro. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to have to worry about motherfuckers breaking rules and having to track them down and shit. It's not even 7 weeks in, and I have to look at transaction logs because motherfuckers are changing abilities. It's shit like I don't understand why people join franchises to fucking cheat, finagle their way in to earn bragging rights by cheating. Just play the fucking game, bro. Just enjoy it. Like there's nothing much more to that, bro. Like, it's really not that difficult. I promise you, it's not that hard. But goddamn, man, like, people, bro, I don't understand the process behind that. You cheat to win, so when you win, you act like you're the best. Because you're not the best, you acting like you're the best if you have to cheat. It's corny, bro. You're wasting your time, and you're wasting everybody else's. Like, bro, I encourage y'all, Hear who's watching this and everybody in the Discord, bro. Just read the motherfucking rules. That's the word. That's not the word of the day. That's the phrase of the day. Read the motherfucking rules. I want you to repeat that, bro, to yourself before you go to sleep. Just read the motherfucking rules. Damn, bro. All right, bro. Before my long tyrant, we're just gonna jump straight into these games because I've been pretty busy in real life. It has some things to take care of. So we're going to catch up on these games. I'm going to recap. I just needed to get that out the way. I was going to do it at the end, but I figured I'd do it for anybody who's going to see this later. They're going to watch this. At least they get to hear that, bro. And we're going to move on from that. But, yeah, we're going to start it from the top, man. Season week 3 right here. Thursday Night Football. Tennessee Titans with the new owner, Lucky Coda 3, going on the road to take Jacksonville Jaguars, who looked very impressive for the first couple weeks of the season with some very strong wins over Kansas City and not really sure who the week 2 opponent was, but the Texans as well. But if we go ahead to week 3, Thursday Night Football, Tennessee Titans, if you see here, just wasn't Jacksonville's game whatsoever. Surprising because he's been going crazy with 60 overall. Tyree Jackson right now on X Factor, mind you that. He has a lot of potential, but he had a pretty solid outing, but it just wasn't enough as he had the lone touchdown in this game, which means Leonard Fournette definitely didn't do enough in this game, but Ryan Tannehill getting a huge extension in real life with the Tennessee Titans. Pretty suspect move if you ask me. Derrick Henry deserves more money than Ryan Tannehill. I believe Ryan Tannehill is a very good quarterback. He had a career year last year leading Tennessee to the AFC Championship game. But that money, more than anybody, deserves to go to Derrick Henry. I don't care what you say. But as far as this, 185, 2 touchdowns, 18 for 26. He's pretty solid game for Ryan Tannehill. Tyree Jackson put up some solid numbers himself. 234 at a touchdown, 20 for 28. Marshawn Lynch having a pretty solid game himself, getting to the end zone. Good yards per carry. Leonard Fournette, absolutely nothing. A pretty pedestrian stat line from all receivers in this one. Outside of Jonnu Smith getting into the end zone twice. Defensively, sack leaders being Jarrell Casey, Daquan Jones, Jeffrey Simmons. Just completely getting to the rookie Tyree Jackson. No picks in this one, but Jacksonville receiving their first loss of the year in a shocking defeat on Thursday Night Football at home at the hands of Tennessee Titans. We go here Sunday. First 1 o'clock game of Sunday. Bengals on the road at Buffalo. Very low scoring game. Very strong defensive effort from both sides. And none of these teams scored in the fourth quarter. You think as close to the game as it was here, somebody would try to pull something late. But Jesus Christ, Josh Allen, 7 interceptions. That is terrible. I mean, got love for you, Osama, but this is not going to do it, man. 1 touchdown, 7 picks, 23 of 40, 282. Andy Dalton tossing 4 of his own. Joe Flacco coming over from the Denver Broncos. Not looking very impressive at all as backup coming in for Andy Dalton. Joe Mixon, only bright side for the Cincinnati Bengals. In this one, John Brown with a long reception to 70 yards and a touchdown in this one. 7 apiece for Cole Beasley and Jason Kroom. But defensively, both teams were going off. Geno Atkins, X-Factor, defensive tackle. Veteran out of Georgia, going for 4.5. Carl Lawson going for 3. The rookie himself, Ed Oliver, showing some love with 2. As we get to the picks, Jesse Bates has been on a mission. And this performance here is 13 tackles, 4 interceptions. Earned him Player of the Week honors for Week 3. So congratulations to him for repping for the AFC. His teammate, Darqueze Dennard, with 2 apiece himself, Micah Hyde, and just a bunch of other guys joining the pick party. And wow, as you see here, very big defensive performance from both ends. But Bengals, the 7 picks from Josh Allen absolutely killed them as they advance forward up the AFC North ladder. As for Buffalo, they got a pretty they sustained a pretty big lead so far, 5 weeks in. So we'll catch back in the division race in the AFC East. But we go here to Philly, complete blowout here, 36 zip here in Lincoln Financial Field. We need a new we need new Steelers and Vikings user. Facts. Like I was saying, bro, like you can't be talking that shit and then you end up losing. Like, come on, bro. Like, you gotta hang in there, bro. He got a good fucking team. That's all I understand. But I mean, his loss, someone else's gain. Carson Wentz. We're not gonna spend too much time here. Complete fucking blowout. Carson Wentz, 232, 4 touchdowns and a pick. David Blau getting it some action over veteran Matthew Stafford. Both these guys playing horribly. Don't know what happened here, but Miles Sanders going absolutely bananas. 13 for $149, 11.5 a clipped. Kerryon Johnson couldn't absolutely do a thing. Nelson Aggie, Zach Ertz, deuce for both these guys in the end zone. As far as this game, that's pretty much all she wrote defensively. Eagles were all over the Detroit Lions in this one. 36-0 lead as they advance up the NFC East ladder. As far as Detroit, not looking so good for them in NFC North. That they remain in the basement. We're gonna go here quickly. Kobe K. Senpai, the New York Jets, takes on CBK4KT of the New England Patriots. 21-7 victory for New England. A big win needed for them as they notch even closer. Hopefully to knock off the Buffalo Bills atop the AFC East. But the lone touchdown coming in the fourth quarter for the New York Jets. Sam Darnold continuing his struggles sophomore season. Three interceptions, almost said 3 touchdowns. I wish. Tom Brady, 2 for 2. Even Steven did pretty solid, did pretty bad. James White running for 100 yards and into the end zone. Le'Veon Bell wishes he signed somewhere else. Julian Edelman, 5 for 88. Phillip Dorsett with 2 touchdowns himself. As far as defensively, 2 picks for Dell Roberts, Dante Hightower, Kyle Van Noy, Patrick Chan. I really want to go through all these games, but that would just draw out the stream. And I'm not really in for that right now because I'm not really feeling so well. No, I don't have the coronavirus. I'm really fucking tired from work. And bear with me, guys. I'm just going to run through this game. I'm going to run through this week. I'm going to run through week 4. But the games I will cover is the week that we just passed, which is week 5. Raiders here. Big victory as they get their first W of the year over the Minnesota Vikings, who at this time, I fucking lied. This was a forced win for the Oakland Raiders. The first victory of the year was a forced win. Congratulations to them. So we'll see how they do next week, week 4. As far as for the Chiefs, Wait, oh, he has the coronavirus. He lying. Man, fuck out of here, son. No, but on a serious note, bro, PSA, get some hand sanitizer, get them fucking wipes, get the alcohol, bro. Just be safe out there, bro. I know a lot of people are downplaying the coronavirus, but it is nothing to play with. There's not a cure. There's not a vaccine for it. Yes, they're in the they're in the process of creating one. There might be one as soon as next month, but who knows? You know what I mean? It's just an estimate. It's just a timetable. But long story short, be safe out there, man. Take care of yourselves. And practice good hygiene, as you should every single day, even without this virus. Practice good hygiene. It'll keep you out of harm's way. And shit is serious. They just locked down Philly. We have a 5 o'clock curfew every single day. I get out of work after 5. So I'm gonna have cops stopping me every single fucking day, asking me, "What you doing out here?" You know what I'm saying? But thank God, Canada. Facts, bro. Canada just shut down their border on some G shit. That's smart. But Trump's a piece of shit. So he's behind the ball and everybody else's head. Italy shut down. Vegas shut down as well. Cali, a bunch of motherfuckers, bro. The whole nation is just gonna shut down, and shit is real, bro. If you and get yourself tested if you can, because I know the tests are very limited right now, and you might have it and you might not even know it. That's the scary thing about the coronavirus, bro. You might have it, you might not even know it. So it's really important, if you see any symptoms, bro, go get yourself checked. It's a very serious thing, you know what I'm saying? Yes, the death rate isn't as high as it's supposed to be, you know what I mean, as people are making it out to be, but that's still nothing like to fret at, you know what I'm saying? Take care of yourselves, bro, and if you see anybody, just fucking, you know what I mean, stay away from them. Enough with that bullshit, you know what I mean? We're gonna go here. Baltimore going on the road to face Kansas City Chiefs. Baltimore with a really good defense, and MVP Lamar Jackson just couldn't take out former MVP Patrick Mahomes, as he absolutely lit them up for 57 points at home, as Baltimore takes home the L, as Kansas City takes home the W in K-Town. As we move on over here in shootout of the week, Atlanta Falcons, Hoodie Mikey takes on Boogie by Jay, head commissioner of the Indianapolis Colts, 42-35 in a shootout. Very close game, very competitive. I give him that. I'm not going to talk shit if I don't have anything nice to say. So I'm just not going to say it. But Devontae Freeman here dubbed himself Player of the Week honors. 16 carries, 262, 4 touchdowns. Congratulations to Hoodie Mikey in a very impressive win over the rebuilding. I'm a piece of shit because I'm just throwing shade left and right. Indianapolis Colts. Still ahead, Indianapolis Colts, top of the division. As far as the Atlanta Falcons, we'll get a later look on the NFC South. Moving on, El Dinero of the Denver Broncos takes on BDG Klez of the Green Bay Packers, and this was an absolute blowout, 44-21 on the road at Lambeau Field as the Green Bay Packers. I can't even fucking talk right now. What's wrong with me? As the Green Bay Packers protect home field, as they should, in a big victory for them, as they lead the top of the standings. I heard he ran the same play. Who are you talking about? Who do you think ran the same play? I'm gonna need some names. But moving on, very big one for Green Bay. De Niro. Have never played him yet. We've been in like 3 leagues. Hopefully we do come across each other. And we just made a trade. Devin Funches and a third for Bradley Chubb. So thank you for that. Falcons. Did he run the same play? I'm not gonna throw shade or anything, but I'm not the only person to make that claim. As you see in week 4, his opponent did make that claim, as we'll get into that right after week 3. Probably closest game of the week. Dolphins, Ngakoue, doing some very big things with the Miami Dolphins in a rebuilding team with a lot of picks, a lot of cap space, as opposed to Taps Giants of the Dallas Cowboys, a team that is contending, doesn't have a lot of cap space, but they have a lot of very good players and are definitely there to compete. Miami edging them out 24-22. Big win in Jerry's world. Giants, Quay Flocks of the New York Giants taking on Jake the Ripper 17 of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Big victory for rookie Daniel Jones. He continued to have a pretty impressive rookie season. He might be up there for offensive rookie of the year. Who knows? But the numbers that he's putting up surely puts him in that debate. Big win for the New York Giants to stay in the NFC East race. As for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they low-key share the basement of the NFC South. Will they be rebuilding? Will they keep competing? We'll see what remains there. Panthers, Cardinals. It's decisive. New owner of the I can't. What the fuck is wrong with me? New owner of the Carolina Panthers takes on co-commissioner Alter Chaos of the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, very low scoring game here. Not really sure what happened, but Cardinals couldn't get the job done when Kyler Murray and company, as Cam Newton absolutely does what he do and barely edged out a victory here on the road in Arizona. Steelers on the road at San Francisco. As you see here, this wasn't a forced win, but this is former Steelers owner beating the San Francisco 49ers in a very tough fought game. Unfortunately, I just, when you have a really good team and you talk all that shit, you know what I'm saying, how good of a defense you have, and then you end up quitting over one loss, like, come on, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you expect me to say any good things because you quit a league over one game, you're a piece of shit. So San Fran, despite the loss, hopefully they get bounced back. They have a good enough team to do it. It won't surprise me if they do. Heading over here, New Orleans on the road at Seattle. Heard this game was streamed, so everybody saw this murder live. No shade to my guy Perk. Clip games for pro. Clip games for pro. If you're telling me to clip games, like if you wanted to show some highlights, I could do that. Future wise, just send me some highlights from your games and I'll definitely put something together. But complete annihilation here. Saints absolutely going bananas. 59-6 over in Seattle, and just, wow, your boy Juju did not let up on Perk at all. Big victory for the New Orleans Saints, and the biggest defeat this week. Did Saints chew the clock? That's a good question. Whether or not he did or did not sure that would have made a difference. You're my guy though, bro. I don't mean to talk shit. I'm just keeping it real. But Seahawks bounce back. We'll get into that later. Texans on the road at the Los Angeles Chargers. Co-commissioner takes on your boy Jalou 12. Very close game here. Defensive hard-fought game. Last second, Houston able to pull out the win in LA. I am the GOAT of the LA Rams. Takes on X-Pair Premium of the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, he drew the clock. Alright, cool. At least he drew the clock. Show some respect. In Cleveland, absolute blow of the Rams, surprisingly. Especially how good of a team the Rams do have. Cleveland just absolutely picked them apart. I'm guessing there was the Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham chemistry that kept building and kept going. And they could not be stopped despite Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald being on the opposing side of the football. Big victory for the Cleveland Browns in the AFC. Bears, final game of the week, Monday Night Football. Papa Gator 33, the Chicago Bears takes on Jennings 75 of the Washington Redskins. Last week, broke the NFL sack record with a rookie. Yes, sir, 11 sacks with a rookie. Absolutely insanity. But this week, could not replicate that success. Whether or not it's a one-time thing, who knows. But 30-7, big win for the boys in blue out of Chicago, as the Washington Redskins still trying to stay alive in the NFC East. As we finally advance to season week 4, the Philadelphia Eagles go on the road and take a trip to Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers. Aim balling out, takes on BDG Klez, and just wasn't a very close game. As you see here, a big victory of 20 points, 13-33. Green Bay takes the lead and takes the W as they proceed to have the best record in Gridiron Legends League thus far, 6 weeks in. As we go here, Tennessee on the road at the Atlanta Falcons. Lucky Coda 3, replicating his success from last week, beating a very tough opponent in the Jacksonville Jaguars, handing them their first L. As Hoodie Mikey had some very big games last week, previous weeks before, just couldn't get it done this time as Tennessee found a way and absolutely shut them down. despite Devontae Freeman going crazy and earning Offensive Player of the Week honors last week. 28-14 is the final score here in Atlanta. Very big one for the Tennessee Titans under new owner Lucky Coda 3. Washington Redskins, Jennings75 takes on Qua Flox. I don't know how to say your name. Of the New York Giants. Shootout here in Meadowlands. Washington barely escapes with Dwayne Haskins and Terry McLaurin, rookies, leading the way. Bright future for them ahead. As far as Daniel Jones, try to hang in there with Dwayne Haskins, just couldn't get the job done. Both teams, this was a division game. Both teams definitely needed this win to stay in the race with the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles took a loss this week. Redskins definitely helps their case for the NFC East lead. Deontay.3-5 co-commissioner of the LA Chargers takes on Ngakoue of the Miami Dolphins. Very close game here. The LA Chargers barely squeak out a victory in Miami to keep their to keep a close race in the AFC West. As far as the Miami Dolphins, are they rebuilding? It doesn't look that way. Ngakoue, very competitive with a very weak roster. I'm very excited to see what the Miami Dolphins have in store future-wise. As we go here, Prejon of the Oakland Raiders takes on Boogie by J1, head commissioner of the Indianapolis Colts, and this was a complete annihilation. I'm not going to get into the stats. We're just going to roll over this. Big one for the Indianapolis Colts. Oakland Raiders going back to the drawing board. He tried to do a couple new things. He tried to bring in Terrell Pryor, of all people, to play quarterback again. That didn't really work out for him. He had a little bit of success with the Wildcat, but needless to say, he didn't reach the end zone. 28-0 victory over the Oakland Raiders. It's decisive for the Carolina Panthers. Go on the road to Houston to take on your boy Jalou 12 and a 21-35 victory for the Houston Texans at home. Very much needed victory to stay in the race in the AFC South. No, is that the South? Yes, it is. I'm second guessing myself. I shouldn't do that. Very big win for the Houston Texans for them. As far as Carolina, they're still in the basement for the NFC South. So they look to be in the rebuilding stage. Chiefs go on the road to take on the Detroit Lions. This looks to be a very easy victory for the Kansas City Chiefs as they completely annihilated the Baltimore Ravens the week before. But Detroit said, we're not going to lay down. We're not going to go out easy, especially at home. They tried to fight up, but Patrick Mahomes and company just wasn't having it as they barely squeak out a win in Detroit, Motown City. X-Pair Premium of the Cleveland Browns take on your boy JoJo 27, the Baltimore Ravens. Cleveland, very hot game, very big victory of the LA Rams. Last week, they take on Baltimore, who had a point to prove. As I just said, got absolutely smacked in Arrowhead against the Kansas City Chiefs. They come out here, put on some pretty big points against the tough Cleveland defense. 20-31. Lamar Jackson asserts his case for MVP. New England, CBK4KT, the Patriots takes on Snow Machine 12 of the Buffalo Bills, and he just wasn't playing. Absolutely smacked them around. 28-7, big victory for the Buffalo Bills. New England, absolutely in trouble. They're in the basement of the AFC East. Who would have thought I'd be saying that this time around? They look to be rebuilding under Tom Brady. We'll see what exactly happens this time around next year. Jake the Ripper 17 of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers takes on Ian the GOAT of the LA Rams. And Rams, like I said, they got smacked last week by the Cleveland Browns. Fortunes churned, fortunately, as they end up doing the smacking this time around against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 37-14, big victory for them for the NFC West. Seahawks, they got the worst ass whooping last week, 59-6 against the New Orleans Saints. This time, they're the one laying the ass whooping down against co-commissioner Alter Chaos. Not really sure what to say. Heard this game was streamed, so if you want to see that, go check it out over there. If it's still up. 47-13, big victory for the Seattle Seahawks. As for Cardinals, they're definitely staying in the race. They're definitely trying to compete, but rebuilding is definitely not out the case. They don't have the strongest roster, but they have some star talent. They have some guys to build around. Hopefully they have a bright future ahead of them. Vikings, CPU takes on the Bears. This is the forced win. Bears take the victory. Jaguars on the road at Denver, and for the second week in a row to open the season, Jacksonville looked very strong, especially with a win over the Kansas City Chiefs. You go here, what happened? The Denver Broncos absolutely annihilated them in Mile High City, 37-15, as the man himself, Drew Lock, absolutely went bananas. And needless to say, Defensive Player of the Week, strong safety Marshall, with 4 tackles, 3 interceptions in this game for the Denver Broncos as they take home a victory in the AFC West. Cowboys on the road at the Saints. Sunday Night Football. Taz Giants YT hands their boy Juju a stunning loss after the performance they put up last week against Seattle Seahawks. Just not what you expected. Big victory for the Dallas Cowboys as they stay in the NFC East race. And final game of the week for Week 4 before we head into Week 5 is what you all guys been waiting for. Cincinnati go on the road to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this was a forced win, so 31-10 for the Steelers. And now finally, we could go week by week, game by game finally. Big week here. A lot of games to preview. A lot of games to get into. As the first one we preview, I am the GOAT of the Los Angeles Rams takes on Perk 2K YouTube of the Seattle Seahawks here in a very close game here. 7-7 heading into halftime. Get a little field goal action here in the third quarter to edge it out 10-7 as we go into the fourth quarter. LA Rams with the difference here. That field goal made all the difference. They escape barely on the road in Seattle, 17-10 Thursday Night Football. As we go into the stats here, Jared Goff, 152, 2 touchdowns, 13-20, had a pretty solid game, no turnovers, which exactly made the difference. And Russell Wilson, struggling a little bit, 224, threw a touchdown, 2 interceptions. Just Russell has been struggling mightily under new owner. Will things change? They have the firepower. They have the tools to turn things around, especially with Derrick Henry in that running game. You have Derrick Henry and Chris Carson. I suggest, just a suggestion, you have two powerhouse workhorse guys back there. Feed them the rock and definitely build an offensive line, and you could definitely be dangerous and a force to be reckoned with. Todd Gurley, 22 for 91. As for the Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson leading the way for the Seattle Runners. Receiving wise, Tyler Lockett 5 for 72, Jerron Brown 5 for 71, almost identical numbers. Lone touchdown going to Albert Wilson. A little touchdown action for Tyler Higbee. That was a fair sim. I wish you would have told me that. Darrell Henderson, rookie, getting to the end zone himself. Looks like the CPU, Russell Wilson has struggled. Don't know why, but LA Rams have a pretty tough defense in it myself. But big victory for the LA Rams over division rivals Seattle Seahawks. And we'll check out the standings when the recap gets wrapped up for this week. As we go on the road to Carolina, Jacksonville Jaguars on a 2-game losing streak, looking to turn things around against new owner is decisive of the Carolina Panthers, clearly rebuilding, and Tyree Jackson absolutely wreaked havoc here. She was not playing around. This was a 27-14 game at halftime, looking to put some more points up, and that's exactly what he did. 47-28 was the final score here in Carolina. And Tyree Jackson, like I said, 307, 4 touchdowns, just 1 pick, but 8 of 14. That is ridiculous. I think that was autopilot. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What, this was autopilot? This was autopilot. I don't know. Was it? I'm not. It might have been. It might have been. But needless, whether or not it was, Tyree Jackson had a pretty big game. As for Cam Newton, had a pretty big game the last 2 weeks with some pretty big victories. But this time around, the turnovers caught up to him. 3 for 3 in this one, 297. But 21.9 yards attempt. Tyree Jackson absolutely went bananas. As Philip Lindsay could go the same for him, outplaying first-round pick Leonard Fournette as he struggled pretty much the last couple weeks. Despite the W, Philip Lindsay absolutely going crazy in this one. The only bright spot for Carolina in this game. Maybe I spoke too soon. DJ Moore, 4 for a $112 and a touchdown, 4 for 76 and 2 touchdowns. DJ Chark doing a little yards after the catch action here with a touchdown and 72 yards himself, 3 for 136 and a touchdown. Who's this guy, Rico Gafford? Get their local grocery man off the field. 1-year pro out of Wyoming. Never really heard this guy, but he's putting up some crazy numbers. Corey Grant with a long touchdown, along with Jared Cook coming over for the New Orleans Saints. 3 sacks for Shaq Thompson here, leading the way for both teams. Telvin Smith, Yannick Ngakoue getting a little sack action themselves. As far as for the Innos, Perry Nickerson, TJ Green showing some love. Kendall Fuller coming over from the Kansas City Chiefs in the Luke Kuechly trade, and Keon Croson with a pick himself. But needless to say, that pretty much wraps it up for this week. I'm getting the fuck out. No, I'm playing with you guys. I'm not. Man, I'm just really tired right now. I'm just going to try and run through this. Big victory for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well needed, as they tied 3-2 this week, top of the division with the Indianapolis Colts. CBK4KT of the New England Patriots takes on Jennings 75 of the Washington Redskins in the closest game this week, 21-22, in a forced win. Obviously, it's a forced win. If this wasn't a forced win, would the Washington Redskins really win? That could be debated. But in the forced win, Washington takes this one, 22-21, as they excel, move forward. They progress up the NFC East ladder. Another forced one here for Snow Machine 12 of the Buffalo Bills takes on Lucky Coda Tennessee Titans. 28-20 victory for the Buffalo Bills. Wow, nothing but CPU games, I see. Ravens against the Steelers. This wasn't a CPU game. They actually played this one before this guy fucking quit like a pussy. Your boy JoJo, 27, takes on Blase Blah of the Pittsburgh Steelers. With a 38-21 victory, Lamar Jackson, I figured, had a lot to do with it. Wow, Big Ben, 238, 6 interceptions. I see why he quit, because he plays like shit. 21-34, 256, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 19-32. So, the turnovers are always going to kill you, but at least there are some positives, as at least he gets his 3rd touchdown on the ground, as you always get with Lamar Jackson. James Conner, despite the poorest yards per carry average, 3 touchdowns. You always are happy with that. Mark Ingram reaching the end zone as well. As we go to receiving end here, Juju Smith, 8 for a $141. Miles Boykins, the rookie, showing out with a long reception of 59, 2 for 108, 4 touchdowns. Alright, I'm smoking crack. That's 4 yards in average. Willie Snead, 4 for 35 and a touchdown himself. Seth Roberts reaching the end zone as well. There's not really much to say about this game. Baltimore absolutely bullied the Pittsburgh Steelers in this one. Tony Jefferson leading the way with 2 interceptions himself. As much needed, big time rivalry game here. Steelers needed this more than anything, but Baltimore goes up and leads the AFC North. So we go here, Alter Chaos of the Arizona Cardinals co-commissioner takes on Henny Jr. of the Cincinnati Bengals, and wowzer. What happened here? Just Cardinals not finding the offensive chemistry that you think that they would have, especially with a young quarterback in Kyler Murray, but that's possibly it. Just not enough experience. They don't have the best offensive line. Cincinnati, not that good a defense as well, but they're still making plays, especially with Jesse Bates being Defensive Player of the Week last week. In a low-scoring bout here in Cincinnati, 17-7, as they take the lead. And we'll see. We'll take a little peek at that AFC North picture. As far for the Cardinals, don't want to make estimates or predictions, but not going so well, as this has been a 3-game losing streak for them. Hopefully they turn things around in week 6. As far as for the Atlantic Falcons, wow. Huddy Mikey returned back to glory, putting up 47 points on the road in Houston. Exactly how did he do it? We'll look into it here. 487, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks. Wow. And Deshaun Watson, you see exactly here, only 78 yards passing. Anytime you throw for that little yards, you either got to have a really good running game, or you're absolutely going to get shut out and we go with the other half here, as Sean Watson absolutely struggled in this one. Matt Ryan lit him up through the air, and Devontae Freeman absolutely ground and pounded them out. 18 for a $159, 3 touchdowns. Duke Johnson looking pretty well in this one. Only lone bright spot for them, Calvin Ridley going absolutely bananas. 9 for 389, 4 touchdowns, could not be stopped. He had more receiving yards combined than any other receiver on the field that played in this game. Absolutely insanity from the second-year guy out of Alabama. 4 sacks for former first-round pick Vic Beasley, leading all defenders in this one. Zach Brown with 2 himself. J.J. Watt, former Defensive Player of the Year, with 2 himself. A couple picks here for a couple other guys. But as far as that, big victory, returning to their prime self, the Atlanta Falcons. Much needed win to stay up top the NFC South. As for Houston, lowers them a bit in the race for the AFC South. They needed this victory. They did not get it. Hopefully they bounce back next week. In a complete blowout, this was the autopilot game, so I'm not going to really go into it like that. But Tampa didn't really play this one. Saints did, and they absolutely ran up the score. They did have NFC Player of the Week. Drew Brees, 748, 10 touchdowns, and a pick, 518, 2 TDs, 2 INTs. Wow. Buccaneers just absolutely aired it out. Both these guys throwing for over 1,200 yards. Pure insanity. Putting up a combined total of 120 points. Ronald Jones, not a lot of surprising wise to see him have that many attempts, but it is a CPU. And D.D. Westbrook going absolutely bananas, coming over from the Jacksonville Jaguars earlier this season. 12 for 568, 8 touchdowns. Those are season stats for some guys. This is only a single game stat. So kudos to him. Big performance as he earns NFC Player of the Week honors for the NFC. Julio Jones reaching the end zone twice as well. You can't forget about that guy. Pierre Garçon doing all the heavy lifting for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But it just didn't matter. It just didn't matter, as the New Orleans Saints absolutely crushed them. There's no way around it. Big victory for them in a big-time rivalry division game as they go up. And I presumably want to say they tie the Atlanta Falcons for the NFC South picture. As we move on, Quay Flax, and we already been through this. More than anything, he has Saquon Barkley suspended for 3 weeks for playing CPU. Just for playing CPU, but not only did he play CPU, he played the CPU 5 times. As you see here, I'm just going to highlight and go over it. 5 times. I don't give a fuck with your excuses. You play the CPU. That's a no-go. You never play CPU. That's a forced one off the rip. You're not allowed to abuse CPU. Simple as that. If your team has an owner and you want to go autopilot, that's different. But if it's CPU, it's a forced win. Please go read the rules. And he broke rules, so Saquon Barkley is suspended 3 weeks. He lucky he does not get a forced loss next week. But Giants come on with the victory against the Minnesota Vikings. So we go here. Papa Gator 33 of Chicago Bears takes on the Oakland Raiders. Prejon and Raiders. Some very hard times early on this season, but they find their footing as they drop 56 points, the highest amount this year for them, against the Chicago Bears. A very tough Chicago Bears defense, might I add. 21-14, 7-14. Someone's Social Security. Get that off the screen. That is absolutely crazy. Mitchell Trubisky struggled mightily in this one. 203, 3 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, as Oakland Raiders were able to harass him. And Terrell Pryor was a quarterback in Ohio State. If all you guys remember that. Returns a quarterback in this game. Didn't find success last week in a blowout against the Indianapolis Colts. 28-0. Comes back to give him another try. Derek Carr, by the way, who's an X factor, he is on the trade block. So if anybody's looking for a quarterback, Derek Carr just might be your guy. He's pretty young. He has a lot of gas in the tank still. Take advantage of it while he's still out there before the trade deadline. 360, 2 touchdowns, 22 of 41. Not the most accurate, but the big plays happened, and that's generally what you get under Terrell Pryor. As wow, absolutely abused the Bears. 1 touchdown here. 5, is that what I'm seeing here correctly? 5 touchdowns for Terrell Pryor. Just doing it through the air and through the ground. A vintage performance for Terrell Pryor. Tariq Cohen doing a little work here for the Chicago Bears. Trey Burton, 6 for $121, 2 touchdowns himself. Darren Waller, 5 for $115, lone catch for 74 yards. Hunter Renfrow, rookie out of Clemson, with a touchdown as well. A-Rob and T.Y. Hilton joining the end zone as well. Excuse me. 3.5 for LaMarcus Joyner, safety, coming over from the LA Rams. 2 for Carl Joseph. As far as interceptions, we got 4 picks for Obi Melifonwu, leading the way, as he earned AFC Defensive Player of the Week honors, including a touchdown as well. So congratulations to him and the Oakland Raiders, as it was a big-time victory. And maybe Oakland is a team to look out for, as they found their footing back-to-back weeks. It's some pretty big victories for them. So maybe they're looking to turn the leaf. Maybe they're not rebuilding after all. As for the Bears, it might be their time to rebuild. They still have a really good team, but maybe the quarterback just isn't the fit for them. Trubisky might be on the block. Who knows? But they're definitely going to find some quarterback competition next year. Possibly Derek Carr. Who knows? As we go here, Philadelphia Eagles at home. Get a visiting opponent. Kobe Senpai of the New York Jets. This was a fair sim game, so I'm not going to really go too deep into it, but the Philadelphia Eagles definitely take home the victory, 24-21. Much needed for that race in the NFC East. Very tight division. As for the Jets, definitely in the basement of the AFC East, looking to rebuild as Sam Darnold continues his struggles. In the highest scoring game of the week, well, I fucking lied, because outside of this, but this was an autopilot game. We're talking straight up, hardcore, airing out, back and forth game. This would have been very fun to see. I wish they would stream this one. Denver 53-50 against the LA Chargers in LA. Both these guys went crazy, but the guy you see the box score here, 21 in the first quarter. You should have known off the rip this was going to be a good one. Defense was not required in this game whatsoever. Denver, the biggest difference for them, they were able to finally get a stop, and the only stop in the second quarter. Both these guys gutted it out in the fourth quarter. But Denver. So Devlin Hodges is 60 overall. Phillip Rivers obviously got hurt in this game, but 408, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 21-29. I mean, Devlin Hodges played pretty sharp for 60 overall. But if you go here, Drew Lock, I mean, for as way more mistakes, 6 touchdowns, 27, just 18 completions, 571 yards. Look at that average, 21.1. Absolutely ridiculous from both guys. And both these guys are rookie quarterbacks, so bigs up to both teams. They might find their predecessors more than sooner than they expect. That's ridiculous, bro. No way. 25 carries, a $119, and a touchdown for Darius Guice coming over from the Washington Redskins. Christian McCaffrey had a pretty solid game on the ground had he got more opportunity, but he did what he could with the limited amount of touches in this game. But the story of the game, DK Metcalf, 7 catches for 422. Absolutely insanity. 4 touchdowns as well, as he earns AFC Offensive Player of the Week honors. Hollywood Brown, both rookies, going absolutely back and forth, going crazy. 9 catches, 219, 3 touchdowns. Just wild. Both rookie quarterbacks connecting with their young rookie receivers, and they both let loose in this one. Devin Funchess in his first game coming over from the Indianapolis Colts, showing out. And maybe the Indianapolis Colts regretted it, but we'll see what Bradley Chubb does for them. 6 catches for $179 and a touchdown. Big game for Funchess himself. Travis Benjamin showing shades of his prime self in Cleveland. 8 for $105 and a touchdown. Noah Fant, the rookie, getting to the end zone twice himself. And a lot of guys putting up some numbers in this one. As we go to the defensive side of the ball, there have been a lot of interceptions, not a lot of sacks. But inno-wise, 2 picks for Adrian Phillips, 2 for Bryce Callahan. And you can say a name, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to get the correct guy who has a pick. Desmond King, Casey Hayward, Derwin James, Michael Davis, Thomas Davis Sr., all with picks in this one. Any defensive touchdowns? I'm guessing so. 3 defensive touchdowns, 2 of them going to the LA Chargers. Justin Simmons with the lone one for the Denver Broncos. So go here, the lone field goal for the Denver Broncos is Broncos of Mile High City. As they continue their race up top the AFC West, trying to catch the Chiefs. Speaking of, as we get to the Chiefs in a second, Packers last 4 o'clock game taking on the Cowboys, and Cowboys task Giants. New owner looking to turn things around the Dallas Cowboys, and I think he has, beating the only undefeated team left in the league, in the Green Bay Packers, as he hands them the first L of the season, 38-31. And we'll see exactly what happened here. Green Bay staging a late game comeback here, scoring 17 in the fourth quarter, but it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough, as Dallas barely escapes here, and we'll see exactly what happened here. Dak Prescott, not the prettiest game himself, 339, a touchdown, 2 interceptions, 13-22. Aaron Rodgers, 442, 3 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Those 6 interceptions definitely had something to do with that. Dallas creating problems from being turnover machines. 10 for 68, 3 touchdowns. Zeke Elliott could not be stopped at the goal line. Raheem Mostert getting a lone rushing touchdown in this game for the Green Bay Packers. Devontae Adams, for as many interceptions that this Dallas Cowboys team created in this one, they just could not find a solution to stop Devontae Adams, no matter who they stuck on him, Byron Jones or anybody else. 8 for $197, 2 touchdowns. Amari Cooper, 6 for $134 and a touchdown. Everybody else chiming in a little bit, even Jimmy Graham heading into the end zone. So we go here, defensive side of the ball. Zadarius Smith, 5 sacks himself, earning himself NFC Defensive Player of the Week honors. Congratulations to him. He is the sack leader so far 6 weeks in this season. So he's definitely a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Okay, Lewis, I got you party invite. 2 sacks for B.J. Goodson, sack for Landon Vander Esch, Chidobe Awuzie, and Robert Quinn. As we go to the NO section, Dallas, Byron Jones, Jalen Smith, Malcolm Smith, Joe Thomas, all with sacks in this one. Any defensive touchdowns, we'll take a look. But 2 picks for Darnell Savage himself. Byron Jones with the lone defensive touchdown in this game, being the main difference in this one. As many interceptions that Rodgers threw, you're bound to make defensive points, and that's exactly what made the difference, as Dallas escapes with a big victory over Green Bay Packers. Boogie by Jay of the Indianapolis Colts goes on the road to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Your boy Jay Wills, 28. Sunday Night Football, 28-56 was his final score here. As as you see here at the box score, they went absolutely crazy in the third quarter here, and Indianapolis lost all hope in this one. Tried to stay in this one, but just wasn't enough. 3 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Jacoby Brissett playing really good early on, just wasn't enough. Patrick Mahomes, 295, 5 touchdowns. Just went absolutely apeshit. Damian Williams doing pretty good as well. Tyreek Hill, Demarcus Robinson, Richie James Jr., Mecole Hardman, all reaching the end zone. And yeah, Patrick Mahomes absolutely going crazy. Congratulations to them, as they look to be the biggest force in the AFC outside of the Baltimore Ravens and a few other teams, as they continue a murdering spree. So go here, final game of the week, Monday Night Football. X-Pair Premium of the Cleveland Browns takes on Big B Staz 86 of the San Francisco 49ers in a pretty close game here. 5-point difference. A lot of shit talking heading in this one. Facts. You saw, if you guys looked at the league chat, both these teams were talking a lot of shit, a lot of back and forth. Bragging rights were obviously on the line. Who's better? Who's got the most talent from either side? Arguably the Niners do, but Browns definitely has some to combat with. And we're going to the box score here, 10-6 heading into the halftime here, but Cleveland trying to fight their way back, but San Fran doubles down on that with 13, and the difference here was the lone field goal heading into the fourth quarter, and it just wasn't enough for Cleveland to fight back. 22-17 final score here in San Fran. Baker Mayfield, what happened? 88 yards and a touchdown. 5 of 9. You only attempted 9 passes? I mean, I know the defensive pressure of the 49ers definitely is present, but you have to air the ball out. This is your strong suit, especially when you have receivers at your arsenal, such as Jarvis Landry, obviously Odell Beckham Jr., and David Njoku. Very surprising approach in this one. This smells like a run-heavy game out of Nick Chubb and definitely the Niners running backs. The carousel they have going on down there, very successful. Only 11 passing yards for Jimmy Garoppolo, and that equates to a W somehow. And that was only one pass. Absolutely absurd. That is wow. How do you even do that? And obviously, like I said, foreshadowing, the Niners went absolutely apeshit. 28 carries, 269, 3 touchdowns for Matt Breida. I'm surprised he didn't earn NFC Player of the Week honors. Sadly, he did not, but obviously up there. One of the better rushing performances you will see all year on Monday, especially on Monday Night Football, the biggest stage there is. 269, 3 touchdowns. Give it up for Matt Breida. Nick Chubb, 24 for a $153 and a touchdown. Try to do his best to compete against that, but I mean, if you're not facing a defense as good as the San Francisco 49ers, I mean, Cleveland's got a pretty good defense in them myself, but the defensive line definitely is not in comparison with the Niners. And Breida absolutely took advantage of that. The lone passing touchdown in this one, who else would you expect for it to go to? Big play man himself, Odell Beckham. 1 catch, 55 yards, and a touchdown. Jarvis Landry, quiet in this one. Everybody else quiet in this one. And if you do the math here, kids, there's only 5 completed passes in this game. That is absolutely absurd. 2 here, 3, 4, 5. It's 6. Maybe I'm stupid after all. It was 6. So absolutely absurd right there. From both ends. Both of these guys, both of these teams neglected to pass the ball. Old school, run heavy football. No sacks in this one. No interceptions in this one. This game is it's in a parallel universe. Where do you ever see this kind of shit at? I mean, no turnovers in this one? No defensive touch, no safeties, no fumbles? Just running the ball. Just pure running game. This is, I don't even know what to say. I'm perplexed at this point, because when do you ever see a game when it's purely running the football? Really weird shit. But congratulations to the San Francisco 49ers and a big win over the Cleveland Browns on Monday Night Football. As we go here, as we're going to check out the standings for the league right now, we're going to go division by division, not conference by conference. As we go here for the AFC North, Baltimore Ravens 4-1 atop the AFC North. Cleveland with a loss against the 49ers definitely hurt their case for the AFC North crown so far. Bengals fighting their way, and Steelers with a quit owner. We're definitely going to be in the process of getting a Vikings and Steelers owner, but it won't be hard at all. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers who doesn't want them. But Steelers, surprisingly, at the basement, especially with the Bengals there, surprisingly in the basement at 2-3, they'll look to turn things around eventually. Indianapolis of the AFC South, Jaguars presumably have played their game. They're 3-3, having took a loss. Colts still having to play their game. They're 3-2. They sit atop the AFC South. Titans 2-3. Texans 2-4. Buffalo Bills 4-1 atop the AFC East. 2-2 the Dolphins. 2-3 for the Patriots, and still looking for their first win of the season are the New York Football Jets. Bills sitting comfortably with a 2-game lead in the AFC East. AFC West, the Kansas City Chiefs 5-1. Comfortable 2-game lead over the Denver Broncos at 3-2. Chargers and Raiders sit 2-3 apiece at the bottom of the AFC East, looking to stay alive. Packers 5-1, 2-game lead over the Chicago Bears 3-2, and wow, they might have the most comfortable lead in the entire league, with a pair of teams with a 0 in the win column, still looking for their first win 6 weeks in. Minnesota 0-5, Detroit 0-5. More surprising, probably the most disappointing team so far this year. Minnesota, you have that good of a roster and you're 0-5. We're going to look for a new owner. Hopefully he could turn things around with the pieces they have, because they still have everything intact. And this is going to be a race that's going to be highly anticipated heading down the stretch. 5-1 New Orleans Saints, 4-1 Atlanta Falcons. They're riding on their toes. Both these high-powered offenses, they don't really have the best defenses, so when they face each other, it's definitely going to be some fireworks, definitely going to be some magic, definitely going to be a game worth streaming and tuning into. Buccaneers, both these teams sit comfortably atop the NFC South, as Bucs and Panthers are at 1-4. Eagles 3-2, Redskins 3-2, Giants 3-2. They all have something in common. They're all tied atop the NFC East. Cowboys at the bottom, one game behind, 2-3. So this division, week by week, fluctuating. Who will stay atop of the end of the season? That remains to be seen. But definitely worth keeping an eye on in that division. And for the NFC West, final division to preview. 3-1 for the San Francisco 49ers at 3-1. The Rams 3-2 despite their struggles. Seattle 2-4, looking to turn things around, and the Arizona Cardinals in a rebuilding process at 1-4. So whether or not they'll turn things around, that remains to be seen. But Niners sitting atop comfortably with 3-1 lead. And now 6 weeks in, there are no more undefeated teams. So the undefeated streak is not something to worry about, not something you have to look at. And I said I'm gonna look at the mid-season stats until we get to week 8. Until we hit the halfway mark, I will look at the halfway stats, but until then, I'll leave that alone. But so far, I have a pretty good idea exactly who leads top of the league, passing touchdowns, passing yards. You can check it out for yourself, but I'll be covering that 2 advances from now. So definitely stay in tune with that. But as I do every week, I'm definitely going to look at the player jersey sales. As you see here, player marketing. Let's see here. Not looking at my team, we're looking at the NFL top 10. And who else do you expect than MVP himself, Patrick Mahomes, to be number 1 in jersey sales this week? Russell Wilson, despite the struggles, at 2-4 with the Seattle Seahawks, comes in second place. Travis Kelce, obviously his go-to blanket, Patrick Mahomes, coming in third place. Drew Brees having a 10-touchdown game against the Atlanta Falcons. Absolutely going crazy. Coming at number 4 in jersey sales last week. Julio Jones, his go-to weapon, coming over from the Atlanta Falcons. At number 5, Kuechly at 6, of course, the defensive monster himself. The Legion of Boom leader himself, Richard Sherman, coming at 7. Von Miller. Seeing him in the Seattle Seahawks jersey is just completely weird himself, but that's not stopping people from buying his jersey. At number 8, and of course Shady McCoy, despite being on the bench and not even have a starting role, comes at number 9, curiously enough. And at number 10, the defensive stalwart, the heart and soul of the Seattle Seahawks defense, Bobby Wagner, coming in at 10th place in terms of last week's jersey sales. I think that pretty much covers it for the week 3-5. That took forever. I pounded it out in an hour and some change. It was I'm definitely tired, but this was definitely fun to do again. I definitely miss doing these recaps. Sorry I've been really late on these things. I had some things to take care of, but thank you guys for tuning in, man. Always leave some comments. I definitely look at everything. I definitely appreciate the love. Definitely stay in tune. Spread the word. I'm definitely going to keep up to date on the league itself, of course. Definitely on these recaps. I'm definitely going to have some guests. So if you're more than interested to be a part of this, definitely shoot me a friend request. I'll hit you up with a party invite, and you can get some words in. You could even preview your game, get some insight in your team rebuilding process. What are you doing? How do you feel about the future of your team, your opponents, yada yada yada. I think that's about it, man. I think that's about it. For your week 3-5 coverage, this has been your host with the most, Bookie by J, head commissioner, signing out, y'all. Y'all definitely be safe and stay away from the coronavirus, man. That is some serious shit.